Hello, Gemini. This is your reading for the week of October 12 through 18. We're going to start the energy of the reading today with, oh, nice, the wasp spirit. Beautiful. It says sometimes life stings. Okay? Hopefully we don't get stung too much by life right now. But I feel like a lot of you are kind of familiar with that sting, you know, and I think that it's kind of like once you get stung once by a wasp, you kind of know what to expect and you know how to avoid it next time, you know. I think that's a good energy. I think this is going to be just to remind us that, hey, sometimes things are going to sting, you know. And how do we either minimize the pain? How do we make sure that we avoid the sting, if at all possible? And how do we deal with it when it does sting, right? We have the High Priestess. We have some intuition here. You have an Eight of Wands. We have an Ace of Wands as well. The Judgment card. Yeah, I think something did sting. And I think that this is us now kind of choosing to go through the door and say, you know what, I'm okay. That something wasn't the best, but I'm okay. Yeah. 10, look at that, 10 of Pentacles, beautiful. 5 of Swords, yeah. 2 of Swords, 2 of Wands, 10 of Swords, and a 5 of Pentacles. So I think there is, to me, it feels like there is this energy of moving on from something. And if you got stung by a wasp, yeah, I feel that it's going to sting for a little while. And we don't have to wait until we feel absolutely perfect again before we continue on our journey. We can keep going even while it stings. Okay. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite and Unknown, our little miniature version of the Rider-Waite. And we've got Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room here, we see major arcana cards. We see fire, fire, fire. No water. No water at all. We've got air, air, and air. We've got earth and earth. So why is there no water? Well, probably because things don't feel all that good right now. Maybe what you're doing now stings a little bit. Maybe that's the sting of like the lactic acid buildup as you're using your muscles, you know. It's the sting of like hard work maybe, okay? So for some of you, I think that sting is like, it's kind of keeping you going, you know. It's like it's when things start to feel the burn a little bit, you know. But we're starting with our High Priestess, and this is maybe a good week to slow down and listen to that inner guidance. What is your body telling you? If something stings, maybe it means we've got to look at it. Okay? If, you know, my daughter, she got stung by a bee on her pinky finger at school a week or two ago. And she was talking about it every day since. You know, she still talks. Remember when I got stung by that bee on my finger? And I don't think it still hurts, but it's very much on her mind as an experience that she's sort of integrating into her life, you know. And I think that some of you are going through a similar thing. But I feel like this is a good week to slow down and listen to that inner guidance. Some truths right now might feel like they're kind of hidden beneath the surface. So it could be that you're kind of waiting to see what happens with something rather than just rushing into action. If something is stinging, right, we don't want to assume it's the very worst thing possible. We don't want to, you know, overlook something that's very serious though either, you know. So you kind of have to pay attention and really slow down and observe and see what really is happening before we react. Okay. because we don't know yet anyway what the source of that sting is. So generally, I think pay attention to your dreams, your intuition, pay attention to the subtle energies, pay attention to your body. What's your body telling you? Because I feel like all these things are pointing you toward what you need to know. And maybe you don't know why your life stings or why something stung you so bad, or why it was so noticeable, Maybe the idea is that you didn't know that it stung you so bad, that you kind of moved on from something and now you find that you're still talking about it every day, or that it stung more than you thought it did. At the time, maybe you just feel like, nothing, I don't even care. But then weeks later, or months later, or even years later, we might be like, you know what? That affected me more than I ever admitted. And it's okay to have that realization now, It's a good week for protecting your quiet time and creating space to reflect. So I think there is something that happened for a lot of you. It's going to be something from the past that you thought you had gotten over, but there's still something that you need to process or reflect upon about that. Look for meaning around you. That if something stings right now, even if it's from years ago, pay attention. There's meaning there. It's trying to tell you something. So you got to trust in that a little bit. Okay. And now remember that the Empress, I gave it away, spoiled it, always do. The High Priestess is leading you to your Empress life. The High Priestess is card number 2. The Empress is card number 3. Right behind the High Priestess is that Empress. Your intuition, your dreams, your synchronicities, your body feeling is trying to lead you toward joy and pleasure and healing and love and abundance and prosperity and happiness. So trust that, okay? And leave it to me to spoil the surprise, but you knew what I was going to say anyway, didn't you? You have a 9 of Wands also. It may feel like life is starting to really speed up, okay? And as life starts to get busier and busier for you, especially as we're heading into the end of the year energy, this may be a week where, it feels like things are going faster. It may be difficult for you to slow down and pay attention to things as life speeds up. There's momentum and movement, right? Maybe a lot of messages coming in, a lot of things in your inbox that you need to respond to. It could be a lot of travel, a lot of obligations, a lot of chores, a lot of errands to run, I feel like it's a card really of excitement. I feel like life is really getting good. You're heading into a very prosperous, lucrative, fun, happy, abundant harvest season. If something is stinging you still from the past, let's address it quick so that it doesn't affect how you experience or how deeply you get to enjoy the coming weeks, if that makes sense anyway. So I feel like there's a lot of things you want to say yes to. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on in life. And you don't want to hesitate. You want to be able to take action and get involved in stuff. And you want your energy to flow freely and all this good stuff. But if something is still stinging you, it's just, we got to get that stinger out of there. Otherwise, we're not going to enjoy the next few weeks and the coming months and the end of the year and everything that's happening with you, okay? So I think it's very important that we figure out what that kind of thing was, or what it is, or why it's hurting you now when it's something from the past, okay? So for some of you, it's something that maybe hurt in the past and it's coming back up again now for some reason. For some of you, it could be something that at the time, you didn't think it bothered you, but now you're realizing that, hey, it does kind of bother me. Okay. You have an Ace of Wands here, too. I feel like this week is really going to be a spark of creative fire, lighting something up inside of you. For some of you, the stinger is going to be that really big idea. It's kind of like suddenly you feel just like this heat growing all over your body, and you think, what is going on here? And it could be that you're being inspired. It could be that something's like lighting a fire, underneath you. Kind of, you think of like a cartoon. Somebody gets stung by a bee, on the backside, and they sort of are running forward. So I wonder if something's kind of like, something's coming into your life to give you like a real, like, giving you the hot foot, making you really like spring into action. It's that motivation. It's that sudden like surge of creative energy. Maybe something, a fresh idea or an opportunity, a burst of energy. Okay, that's ready to grow. Could be something that you really want to say yes to, something that excites you more than any. It's kind of like, I don't know where that came from, but suddenly I feel like I've been, stung by a bee, and I'm just like, I'm just rushing forward now. And so I feel like for some of you, that's what this is, okay? And I feel like you should be saying yes to things that excite you. You should be saying yes to something, whether it's a new business opportunity, it's a new relationship, or even if it's like a new enterprise or project or a creative work. If you feel inspired, if you feel that kind of surge of energy, and if it really is exciting you, say yes to it. Do something that's going to make it real. This is a time for taking those bold first steps. Even if you don't know the outcome, even if you know that once I get started, it's going to be, 5 of Pentacles. It's going to be a little challenging. That's good. 5 of Pentacles. That means hard work. Okay. I think a lot of you are making a decision right now to take a chance on one of these ideas. If this is business for you or money or something like that, your business is going to be successful. And your money is going to be flowing in cascades of, waterfalls of money. But only if this thing that you're going to do is something that you really feel an interest in, or you have a natural talent for, or you feel is like inspired in some way. It's not just, hey, you know what? I got an idea of something that might make money. Well, let's try it. This is something like, I've got an idea. I've got an inspiration. I know and it's something that you're naturally inclined toward, or you have a natural talent for. Okay, that's going to make it more successful, probably because then you're going to commit to it, and you're going to be able to still be doing it even when, at first, it doesn't make money. Okay, if this is just, I got an idea to make money, you start doing it. The first few months doesn't make money, you're going to quit. This is something that you would probably do even if it didn't make money. You see? And so that's why this is going to be successful, whatever this might be for you. This is your enthusiasm. Let it guide you. Let it lead. Allow yourself to be led by that excitement. Protect this new beginning from any kind of doubt or distraction. Give this the energy that it needs to expand. This is something inside of you that might be stinging you from inside, And in the sting of life too, right? Sometimes life stings, right? It might be that realization that, look, you kind of like, you're in a position where something that you tried before didn't work out. That you tried a business thing and maybe it didn't work. Maybe it failed. That stings, yeah. But guess what? You get stung by a wasp or a bee, you keep going. I don't know, do they bite or do they sting? I don't know. I guess they sting. Allow your past, whatever it is, failure, to be a motivator. You get stung by that wasp, and you're just going to put a little pep in your step. Yeah, it's going to make you kind of, it's going to make you work harder and run faster, isn't it? So we also have the Judgment card, and it's a week, I think, where you're really like waking up to this higher calling. And I think that this Ace of Wands is really like that. It's that deeper truth. It's that inspiration. I think there is a message here about reflecting on the past. Okay, understand what it was that stung you and why it stung and what happened, and understand that lesson so that you can kind of see how it might apply to what you're doing now and the way forward for you. Because I guarantee life's going to sting you again. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but life's going to sting you again. Like I told my daughter, that's probably not the first time you're ever going to be stung by a bee. Now me, I was only stung by a bee once. It was in a leg while I was swimming. I was like 6 years old and haven't been stung by a bee since. Why? Because now I know. Just leave the bees alone. You're not gonna swat at it. It comes around, it sniffs me or whatever, it realizes I'm not a flower, I don't smell that great, and it goes away. And I feel like I was a beekeeper in another life or something. But this is that, the understanding of the past so that we can release it, so that we can experience the renewal and we can kind of get back to it and we can try again and we can be fully on board with this new enterprise or this new inspiration or new relationship or new job and new business or new art project or whatever it is. And with all the progress that's available to us, all the rapid speed and momentum that we could be utilizing, we got to let go of something from the past so that we can put all of our energy into this new effort, all of our energy into the new enterprise. I think that a lot of you are experiencing or have been experiencing this inner call that's urging you toward this kind of new, exciting adventure. Okay, you got to answer the call. Okay, but it's a time to rise above the old patterns and the old worries or concerns and just rise above the old, everything, right? Embrace this transformation. The past is behind you. You're stepping into your new self, okay? And it's going to result in a 10 of Pentacles, I promise you. They're going from an Ace of Wands to a 10 of Pentacles. You're going through all the elements, right? The Ace of Wands is at the very, very top. It's Ace of Wands, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Wands. Then Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Cups. And then the Swords. And then finally, Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Pentacles. You're going through all the energies. So I feel like this is really, for a lot of you, this is going to be the biggest thing that you've ever done. This is going to be the biggest project, the biggest business, the greatest, biggest, best idea that you've ever had. And it's going to result in the most significant change in your circumstances. I feel like this is the big win. I feel like this is this is dollar signs in your eyes kind of moment for a lot of you, okay? Well, this could be something else. Could be the creative project, could be a relationship. It could be a lot of different things. I feel like it's going to be the biggest and best idea that you've ever had. And it really is going to be a life-changing thing. The 10, the Judgment card, right, is showing that the old universe is done. And it's time for us to create a new one. And the one that we can create can be everything. 10 of Pentacles is family, legacy, long-term prosperity. This is the focus for the week. Stability and abundance that flows, right? Through the generations, you could be creating generational wealth. You could be creating something that is going to exist even long after you're gone. It's still going to be there flourishing. Okay? It could be family stuff. It could be business. It could be money and literally like assets and like wealth and stuff like that. This is the picture of your absolute best life, the biggest dream that you could ever dream. You got your pets, your plants, your people are in there, everything. Okay, this is it. This is all of it. So it's really a good week for you to think about those long-term plans, your security, what you are building for the future, and to feel that inspiration and to let go of the sting, whatever's stinging you. Use it as motivation. Sublimate that into ambition. Okay. Whatever your goals are, you're celebrating here wealth, you're celebrating connection, you're celebrating community. What you build now is going to benefit you for the rest of your life and people that come after you and your neighbors and your kids and your kids' kids and your friends and everybody. It's going to benefit everybody in some way. I feel like you're making a big difference in the world with this energy. Trusting your intuition and trusting this 8 of Wands too, which is like the pace is going to pick up. And you want to be right there harmonizing with that 8 of Wands. Okay, you don't want to be left behind when there's this opportunity now for everything that you do to hit its target. Okay? Do as much as you can right now. Make as many deals or plans or put as many things in motion as you can, because everything is hitting pretty close to the target with that Eight of Wands. I feel like there's momentum. There's a chance for things to accelerate for you. And for a lot of you, that acceleration is only really fully going to be utilized when you're able to let go of something from the past. Okay? We have a Five of Swords here as well, and this may be conflict. Okay? This could be something that stings. It could be, this sometimes like this feels, just this card feels like a sting, right? Because it feels like somebody that like they won the battle. Oh yeah. Wow, why does it sting? Why doesn't that feel good, right? So somebody that maybe feels like they won, but they didn't win fairly or something like that, right? This could be an energy too of just maybe the sting of defeat. Okay, this could be the feeling like we're not sure about moving forward because we know that there's going to be challenges. What if it doesn't work out? What if I put all my eggs in this basket and something goes wrong? So the Five of Swords is us kind of like defeating our own momentum before it really gets started. And so this, as we look sort of, horizontally or chronologically, it feels like some of this momentum is going to be blocked by your doubting mind. Okay, the Five of Swords is sometimes a mind that questions itself and says, "Yes, I did. Everything here is. Look at that's great. This is absolutely perfect energy, Gemini. But this is like, well, maybe I don't know if it's going to work, and what if I'm not good enough, and what if I don't have what it takes, and what if I'm not smart enough, tall enough, short enough, whatever." Okay. This is also that card that's saying, look, we don't want to get involved in any entanglements this week. Let's keep this momentum harmonious. All these javelins are going in the same direction. The Five of Swords is then conflict and arguments that are like, driven by ego or pride that are blocking some of these javelins from going the right way, where some are just going to say, I'm out of here. I'm going to go a different way. What if because maybe this is all of our team, this is all of our friends, or this is all of our momentum, all of our energy. We don't want to scatter that energy by getting involved in entanglements. So be mindful of which battles you want to get involved with this week, right? Don't get involved in any sort of entanglements with other people, or even conversations with yourself that are just going to cause more pain. It's kind of like you got stung by the bee. The more you think about it and look at it, the more it's going to hurt. It's like my daughter, when she gets stung by a bee, or she falls down or something like that. If everybody looks at her and starts saying, "Oh, are you okay? Oh my gosh, are you, what?" Then she starts crying like hysterically. It really hurts more when everybody notices. It's going to sting more if we draw attention to it. So we're not saying to just ignore. She falls down and we just ignore her. No. We let her figure out how she's going to react first. And a lot of the time, she'll just get up and she'll dust herself off. She'll kind of look around to see if anybody saw her, and then she'll just start skipping around and playing and laughing again. Or she'll stay down and she'll just starts like whimpering, and that's going to, okay, she's hurt, and we rush to her side. But if we stay calm, she stays calm. So it's kind of like we have to understand that energy in our lives too. We have to be mindful of how our responses and our interactions with ourselves and with others are making things hurt more than they need to. Where does our communication just cause more pain? For ourselves, if something is stinging, the more I think about it, the more it's going to sting. If I just say, okay, that hurt, I'm going to keep going, then it usually fades away fairly quickly. But if we obsess over it and we just keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, it's going to hurt way more than it needs to, okay? It's a good week for honesty and humility in order to heal those wounds. Especially if there is something from the past that still stings, or something that you never thought it was going to, but now it is, or something that did sting and then it was over, and then why is it stinging again? That kind of honesty and the humility is going to allow us to heal that and move on and take advantage of this wonderful Eight of Wands energy that is allowing for a lot of progress this week. Let go of fights that don't serve your highest good. And also hit the like button on this video if you don't mind. That helps to push this message out to everybody that needs to see it, okay? So it's very important, and I really appreciate all of you who do that for this channel and for each other too. Two of Swords we have also. Don't keep yourself in limbo. Don't keep yourself in limbo. It's kind of like if something is stinging right now, it means you gotta move. And so the more we're just like, I don't know what to do, that's gonna cause more conflict and more pain for us. So we feel that we get stung by something, we gotta move quickly. And I think that it's kind of like that motivation. You get struck by this idea of this Ace of Wands. You're being told to move quickly forward into it. Don't avoid the choice. Don't keep things in limbo. There may be some kind of inner conflict that's clouding your way. We need that balance. We need to take action. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let indecision make you stuck. Okay? Weigh your options, move forward with clarity. Don't wait too long, don't stay frozen. We've got to kind of observe and then go for it. Observe and then take action. And the High Priestess is the same kind of vibe, remember. Yeah, we want to kind of trust what we're feeling and trust what's going on and be open to the revelation, be open to the clarity. Okay, and then we make a decision based on clarity. The Two of Swords is really a card that's showing how you make decisions. You make decisions by thinking about something a lot, yeah, but then eventually you have to stop thinking and trust your intuition, trust your High Priestess, and saying, I know that this path is going to lead me to my Empress life. So we have to be willing to trust that intuition a little bit, because thinking about something, what do you have when you add a 5 and a 2 together? You get a 7 of Swords. You get confusion, distraction, you get a lot of noise in the system, okay? You get a lot of, well, if we multiply a 5 and a 2, we get that 10 of Swords, and we don't want that either, because that's you stabbing yourself in the back. Your mind, your mindset, your frame of mind, and your internal dialogue have to be very supportive of this work that you're doing now. You've got to believe in this inspiration so that you can fully get on board and fully take advantage of the Eight of Wands. Otherwise, this is like a bullet train to your future, but you're not going to be on it because of your doubt and your questioning and that limbo, that indecision, right? So we've got to be decisive. The Two of Wands, you're planning for the future, and you're realizing that, hey, this is the opportunity that I can really take advantage of, and I can change my world. I got the world in my hand right here, and I can make this happen, right? So we're looking beyond the comfort zone. We're looking beyond that indecision, or beyond whatever it is that was stinging, or even what about it? The prospect of the sting. I think, yeah, I could do this, and I can create something just massive and extraordinary, but it's going to sting a little bit. You sure you want to? It's going to hurt. It's like you're getting a tattoo, and it's going to hurt. You know that, right? Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. And so this might be that kind of energy for you too, but this is a time for you to set a clear direction. Even if the path isn't fully visible, even if it seems like it's going to be an uphill battle, it's going to be hard work. Are you sure we're ready for this? This may be a decision between two roads. Choose the one that excites your spirit the most. Don't choose safety. Don't choose fear. Don't choose to not choose. Even indecision is a decision. Okay? Your dream is important, but taking action right now is what's going to bring your vision to life. You're stepping into boldness. Okay, you're acting with courage and conviction, not doubt and fear or worry or, expecting something to hurt, expecting it to sting, knowing it's going to sting, knowing this is going to be a lot of work. But it is worth it. Okay? Because what we don't want is that self-sabotage of the Ten of Swords. Because if you are paralyzed in your indecision because of this overthinking energy of the 5, right? 5 times 2 is 10. You're basically canking your own deal. You're killing your own plan. You're stabbing yourself in the back. Okay, you're causing the ending of something before it even really gets off the ground. And you have this ace. You want the ace to go up here to the 10 of Pentacles, not the 10 of Swords. So you make your idea go here, not here. And knowing that, it's going to have to go through a 5 of Pentacles to get to a 10, well, of course. No one can stand on the summit of the mountain who has not first climbed the mountain. I mean, come on, Gemini, you know all this stuff. You know all this stuff already, right? But you Gemini, you have that tendency to overthink a little bit, as most of the signs do, but maybe a little bit more prominent. But Gemini, the 10 of Swords here is, it may be that feeling like, what have I got to lose? Yeah. And, there's no choice now but up. There's no choice but doing this, taking advantage of this inspiration that you have and the momentum that's building around you. It feels like there's an electricity in the air for you, okay? And I think with whatever it is from the past, I feel like you realize that it may sting a little bit, but this is a moment of clarity, okay? This is you letting go of what no longer serves you, even if it stings. Letting go might sting a little bit. If you're moving forward with this new dream, this inspiration of yours, what do you have to leave behind? Safety, comfort, whatever, doubt, or the old version of yourself or the old life. That might be what stings. But it's worth it. It may sting to let go of what no longer serves you, but it doesn't serve you anymore. This is you getting out of a birdcage. And it may sting a little bit to get out of that birdcage. One, because you're going through those metal bars and maybe you get scratched up. But I feel like maybe it's that fear that says, I'm outside the birdcage now, which means I've got to use my wings. I've got to find food and water and, like a place to sleep. I don't have a birdcage that I can just go back to and somebody brings me bird seed and the little water bottle with the little metal ball at the end, and the sawdust on the bottom there. I don't have that. Okay, so I feel like you're kind of like, you're going without a safety net a little bit in your life, okay? And I feel like it's kind of it's a rebirth energy for you. And I think it really is going to lead to your best, absolutely your best life. 5 of Pentacles we have also. And this may be hardship, maybe the worry about the hardship that we're struggling with the struggle. We're worried about the difficulty. And that may be weighing heavily on you right now, as it's going to be an uphill thing. We got to climb the mountain if we want to get to the top. This may be even a feeling of scarcity. Okay. And if that's the case, maybe the scarcity is motivating us too. It's saying, look, the situation I'm in now is untenable. The situation as it is, if nothing changes, this can't last very long. So I have no choice but to take a risk, It was kind of my situation too, and I know this video is getting long as they all. I try to keep them short now, but when I first started this YouTube channel, my wife and I we had just had our daughter. She was like a year and a half old. And we lost one of our sources of income. And I was kind of saying to myself, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because we didn't have enough income or anything saved. That I don't know what the future is going to be like. So I was like, I got to think of something to do, And that's when I said, well, you know what? Why not take a chance on something that I'm passionate about, something that I love, something that other people have said I'm kind of good at. I feel like an interest in it. I feel like there's kind of a talent there. And I said, I'm just going to start a YouTube channel, you know? And the rest is history, of course. And it's still an uphill battle. I'm still climbing the mountain, you know? But the Five of Pentacles, you know, that was telling me that, and I did readings for myself, and all the readings said, look, this is a risk. All the readings said, you're scared, you're not as good as you think you are, but you got to do it anyway. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with this Five of Pentacles for you. It's just like things can't persist the way they are. You have to be willing to take that risk. The only way you're going to get to the top of the mountain is to start climbing. So shift your perspective from scarcity to possibility, to, you know, the prospect. Because where I was, it's like we didn't have any money. I didn't have much of an income. I still had my day job, but it wasn't going to pay the bills, not with a new baby. And not with the loss of the other income that we had. And so we was like, well, something has to change. We can't just ignore it. It's like we're going to have to do something. And that seemed like a very bold move, but I think for you it's going to work out. You got to shift your perspective. Okay. Let's look at our mystery card. I want Empress. I want water. I want either Empress or I want cups. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. One thing I want to do first, though, is a manifestation oracle card, just real quick for you. We'll try to keep the video under 40 minutes. Healing lack. Affirm that you have enough, you do enough, and you are enough. And the mantra, I have all I need. You're healing that lack. Remember, that's what we said with the scarcity or the lack mindset here. Okay? The feeling of lack or scarcity. And we're healing that. Okay, so it could be, you know, reaching out for assistance and help and finding more support than you really realize is out there for you. Don't hesitate to do that. And affirm that you have all you need. You are enough. You do enough. You have enough. And let's ride this wave of this really intense, because I feel like you can make a lot of progress very, very fast right now. But we've got to release the doubt. Got to release that sting energy and just go. And just do it and put all your effort into this. And I feel like the success, the progress is going to be quick. It doesn't mean you're going to get to the top of the mountain overnight. But I think you have an opportunity to make a lot of progress very quickly. And that's going to motivate you. That's going to build up your confidence. That's going to give you a nice foundation. I expect this maybe to be a Four of Pentacles. Maybe. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's the Four of Pentacles. Because this is the rapid base that you're going to build. And right now things feel shaky. Going from a 5, instability, right, to a 4, stability. Okay? And so this is it. This is the stability, this is the security that is going to be shored up very, very fast. It's like you're able to build the foundation of this new thing really quickly because of that Eight of Wands. It's not going to take a long time to just take a couple steps. I feel like you can make a lot of progress really quickly, and this foundation, and it's going to give you that security and that stability that you need. And from there, it's all icing on the cake. You know, it's all icing on the cake. So when I first started doing YouTube, and it didn't make a lot of money at all. I mean, still, you know, but no complaints. But, you know, at first it's just like it was a lot of work and very little income was coming in. But quickly it turned into enough where, okay, well, we can breathe. Or have enough that we could pay the rent and we can, you know, buy what we need to get for the baby, and we're okay, right? The foundation, that security and stability was there. Now, the issue with this card is that security and stability are illusions. No matter how successful you might get It could go away at any moment. And I know that, and you know that. And so that to me feels like a philosophical given that we don't need to keep telling ourselves, because that's part of our Five of Swords too. So we'll say, this could go away any time, so why even do it? Well, let's not think about it like that, right? But this is, kind of a message that's saying, like, you have security and stability. Don't hold too tightly. Okay, diversify, try to spread out and as much as you can, and really make it a stable foundation, so that no matter what happens, this becomes your safety net. No matter what happens, you've got a nice soft landing. You have a nice cushion if anything were to go wrong or whatever happen. If something unexpected comes up. I think this is a really wonderful. It's time to create that firm foundation by taking your idea and going through the first few steps of it and taking advantage of this very rapid progress kind of energy, the momentum that's available to you right now. This is extraordinary. We're going to click on through to the extended reading. Okay, there's a join button right down below. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll clarify love and money. We'll do the yes/no coin. It's going to be great. Gemini, I thank you. I love you. And I'll see you there.